I am here, guys. I'm just chopping some wood up. Who we got? Oh, there's Nathan and Larry. How you doing, guys? I'm just gonna sort some wood just to warm this up a little bit here. Right, I did have a lighter. There it is. And there's David as well. I am, yes. I'm on my own tonight. Cheryl's not too well. I think Dale might come in. Let's have a look. Right, let's get this done. Right, I have got. Where are we? Boom, 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 boom. Right, okay. We got Flaming Turners in. Wayne the Wood Turners in. Is that you getting messed about by YouTube, Wayne? You know, they demonetized last week's live for no reason whatsoever. So I contested it and then they monetized it for some strange reason. I thought it maybe Cheryl had a low cut top on. I don't know. Right, we have fire. Let's have a look. The wax spoken on the screen, so. Oh, I don't know. And there's Sneaks, Wallart, Chris Walters. How you doing, guys? Right, so it's 8 o'clock, so I had to resub to a load of people. I guess YouTube playing tricks. Yeah, probably. Right, can you all hear me okay? And can you see me okay? This isn't the usual thing that you see when I go live. Okay, right, okay. Yeah, I did, Wayne. That's what I did. I checked to see if it's monetized. I even before starting this one tonight, I checked that it was monetized. Hi Barry, how you doing, mate? I must come over and get that bit of wood off you at some point. You have to let me know when you're in. And there's Claire, just leaving IKEA. Cool. We'll see you then. So the plan tonight is now. Anyone that's seen my Instagram and I think Facebook posts, let's turn this light off for a minute, would have seen that this week we're making a mug and we're power carving it. But what I did is to save a lot of time, because these things you don't make in 2 hours. Do you know what I mean? I got it on the bandsaw and I roughed out the basic shape of what feels comfortable in my hand. I got it on the lathe and I took out the center, which is quite a lot of work if you was to do it by hand. This is also oak. It's really hard. So this is the basic shape, as you can see. So it's just roughed out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the Dremel and I'm going to start shaping it and smoothing it. I've marked a few places like there, look, where my thumb will sit. I've got to round these little bits. As I'm going, I'm going to be kind of testing it, because this is for me to take out with the Scouts. So it's got to fit in my hand. And then what we'll do is on the top there, we'll do a bit of carving, maybe coming down the side, some leaves or something. I'm sure it will emerge as we're going along. So let's have a look. Right, give me a minute. I'm just going to get some power to these guys. I'm actually using tonight if we can get it out without taking my eyeball out. So I'm using the Dremel 3000, my go-to Dremel, with the extension cord. So we'll plug that. And my fire's gone out. And we're also going to be using the little Dremel 2050, which is a tiny little handheld thing. I love this. It's this is for doing like real fine details. Right. So, is there anybody that wants to come in this week as a guest? Put your hands up if you want to come in. Right. Okay. So Dale is coming in. Let's go on to invite. There we go. Dale. And there goes my battery on my phone. Wonderful. Right. Anybody else fancy coming in? So Nathan's up for it. Okay. Nathan, I'll send you the link now. Right. There's one for Dale. There's one for Ramsdale. Anybody else? I've got room for another one if anyone wants to come in. Oh, there he is. There's Dale. Ah, there you go, mate.
Hello.
All right. We have Nathan coming in a minute. Oh, there's my dad. Who else we got? He's thinking. See, I can only read what's in the chat of StreamYard. Which I think
so we've got Nick Flaming Turner, Handmade by Sarah, Wayne Wood Turner. We have David McLaren. We have Wooden Things. We have Sneak, not Sneaks, Sneak. We have Barry Godfrey. We have Chris Walker. And there may be one or two. Oh, and obviously Ramsdale, Mr. Sherman himself, lurking in the chat. Maybe one or two others popping in now. Oh, cool. And obviously your dad.
Yeah. Right. I've just sent Wayne an invite. So Wayne should be in a minute as well. There's Nathan. There you go, Nathan.
Hello, mate.
All right. Right, I've just sent you an invite, Wayne.
Good evening, everyone.
How you doing, mate?
Young sir? How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. So, feels like Friday, and it's only Tuesday.
Right, so hello, Sarah. Sarah says hi, Rich. Chris Walker, hi, Chris. Hello, Dad. Oh, there you go. There's Wayne. Ah, there he is. Right, so
Mr. Wayne.
Let's just try and start this fire again. Ooh.
Hi, guys.
Hello, Wayne. How you doing, mate?
Hi, Wayne.
There we go.
What?
I don't know if my mic's working. Can you hear me?
No, we can't hear you. We can't hear you at all, Wayne. Not at all. If your mic was working, I would tell you.
Right, 2 secs.
Hi, Larry.
Sorry about that. Didn't realise it's still in my work shirt.
So
What's going on?
I think the important question we have to ask, is that a beer fridge behind you, Sherman?
Beer
Over
fridge?
your shoulder. Is that a beer fridge?
No, that's a freezer, actually.
Oh, I'm disappointed. Here was me thinking you
Yeah,
had
it
the
is.
ultimate workshop accessory.
No. I'm very privileged to have a freezer, fridge freezer, tumble dryer. But I am very privileged to be in the house. So
Well, yes, of course.
makes quite a difference.
Is Stace okay, Nick? Is she all right? Is it something you can share?
Sorry, what was that, Dale?
So Nick Flaming Turner just posted that Stace would be here, but she's at the hospital getting some results back. I hope she's okay, Nick.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, thoughts are with you.
well,
Sorry,
hope she's all right. I don't see her in my lives anymore. Right then. So, my fire's going, which is good.
Nice.
Actually-
Keeping warm.
Right, let's have a look. There he is, burning away over there.
Hey.
That's the second ultimate workshop accessory, a fire.
Definitely.
Definitely.
You've got heating in yours, Dale.
Yeah, but it's not the same as a fire kind of thing. You can throw
Yeah, it
stuff in a fire. You can't throw stuff in a heater.
That is very true, Dale.
I just chuck all my scraps in there.
Clive was asking, where's Sheza tonight?
Cheryl had a seizure earlier on, so she's not going to be coming in. She's okay, though. She's all right. She's just chilling now. So,
Hope she's feeling better soon.
yeah. She had one yesterday as well. So,
Oh,
but well, she had three, one after another earlier on, and she had two yesterday.
Clive sends
Cheers,
his
guys.
love.
All right, thanks, mate. Right,
Mike Lang's just come into the chat. Mike, hi.
hi, Mike.
hi, Mike.
For
Young
everyone
Jake's
who's come in,
hiding. Sorry, mate. Young Jake's hiding somewhere around.
is he? Cool. So, what I've done, guys, if you've missed it earlier on, it takes a long time to carve one of these by hand. So I turned the inside on the lathe earlier, which was scary because this was a solid chunk of oak, so it was vibrating quite bad. And then I roughed out the basic shape on the bandsaw. Let's get you in picture, shall I? So it's going to fit me because it's mine. So I'm going to start making it so that it's comfortable. Let's get you on camera in your hand. Do you know what I mean? So not everyone's got the same grip. And then we're going to do something on top there. Let me know, guys, if I'm out of camera like this, working away, and
Sure.
So,
Young
oi,
Jeff Christie just come into the chat. Says good evening.
hi, Jeff.
Do we? I mean, is it worth putting something over your lap or something while you're doing that, or is it?
I'm going
Are we
to put this leather apron over my lap.
Okay.
Perfect. A little bit of
I mean,
protection.
because there is the risk of damaging the crown jewels in that position, so I bet
Ah,
PPE
well.
would help.
The missus sent me to the butcher's, so I don't need them anymore anyway. Right. But yes, I will be. I will be protecting myself.
Did you get to keep them, Rich?
Little souvenir.
No,
Well, I could have.
a little snip here and a little sew up there, and we're good. Right. How's that? So if I keep about on the family jewels, you lot should be able to see it. Okay. Right then. So if you can see this, made a little bit of an impression there, so I can put my thumb through. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start rounding this back end off because it's quite sharp there.
Just as an observation, so when you bring it to the camera, the light you're obviously got illuminating, it's very bright. It's kind of washing out the spalting in the oak a little bit.
Okay.
We might not be able to see it.
How's that?
That's better.
That's
Yeah.
much better.
Yeah.
Much better.
It's my
Super duper.
super duper vlogging light. There you go. Done. Okay. Is that better?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Okay.
Barry's asking, what's the wood?
The wood is oak. I think it's white oak. It is really hard wood. That's why I'm power carving. Shouldn't ever be ashamed of power carving, guys. So, right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working this off here now.
Is it just me? Does anyone get memories of the dentist when you use a Dremel?
Oh, definitely.
Exactly what I was thinking just then.
Open wide,
But
sir.
it's very true about power carving oak. I am.
Deal, I
hand
even use
carved some oak
dentist drills as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't remember. What was that movie with Mr. Dustin
Marathon
Hoffman
Man.
in it? Marathon Man. Just have a vision now, Mr. Wayne.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to put my respirator on, so I'm not going to talk a lot. So if you want to talk amongst yourselves, that'd be great.
Next just said yes, even more when it's on higher speed. You're very, very true, Nick. It's just that kind of whiny shudder. This is going to hurt. Maybe that's why you're not as aggressive with the Dremel as you could be. You feel for the wood in some fashion. Empathizing with the material. Handmade by Sarah. Rich says it sounds like your dad cutting his toenails.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, some serious toenails, if that's what that sounds like.
They're actually
That's
brilliant
what
for
she is,
taking the
a
dry
foot
skin
pedal.
off your feet.
My word, sir. At the moment, that's maybe is that through personal experience or observation?
Yeah, either that or one of the Black & Decker power files.
Such is the life of a wood turning hand model, eh? Do we remember what the name of this style of cup's called? I mean, you see a lot of carvers doing
Oh,
it.
it's a Swedish name.
I couldn't
I'll have a
tell
quick
you.
look.
I've not
Let's do a Google.
come across
Let's
these
ask
before.
I'll have a
Gut
quick
to
look.
Google. Or what would be Greta Google? There we go. Swedish cup. Let's go with Greta Google. Nick, I reckon we can get a bet and go. How many? So the next question was, how many sanding tubes on the Dremel do we think Rich is going to go through tonight to sand this down? What do we think? 1, 3, 5,
10.
10, 10. Any advance on 10? I'm going to go for an odd number. I'm going to say 3. I'm going to say 3.
I suppose it depends how dry the oak is, really. If it's nice and dry, you probably won't go through that many.
Richard said earlier it was very dry.
It's a Kuxa deal.
Right?
It's a Kuxa. K-U-K-S-A.
Kuxa. Nick is going for 4 tubes. Flaming Turner, Nick is going for 6. Barry Godfrey is going for 5. I'm going to say
you should get
3.
rid of that and use a burr anyway.
Really early carving.
Gonna need some fillings in that and a spot of bridge work. I know sometimes the chat
Thanks,
on a Beard Lives get a bit hectic, but this is getting out of hand now, says young
No,
Jake.
definitely.
Mike Lang says he uses carbide burrs for shaping. The barrel sanders explode too much.
Yeah, so do I.
Mr. Bennett, Cheryl's not feeling too well tonight. She had a seizure earlier on. I think Richard will fill you in later if it's important. Cheryl's always important when she has a seizure. What am I saying?
Yeah, I think she said she's sleeping it off
He's
now.
okay. Yeah, she says he was okay.
Yeah.
Barry, I think he turned it. I think he said earlier on that he turned the inside.
Rich, what do you plan to finish it with?
Sorry,
What do you plan to finish the kusk with?
I'm going to soak it in with some oil. What's it called? Mineral oils. I'm going to dump it in there for a couple of days or something, and then that'll do the job, I think.
Okay.
Starting to, yeah. These, hang on. These sanding drums that I use. Let's get you in camera. They are the Speed Click system. They are less likely to explode. They very rarely explode, to be honest. For me, that is. The old type, which is this one, that you have to screw the ends in, I just can't. They just explode all over the place. They do. But I don't use them. I only use this.
I heard of the click system before.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's this. It's this.
It's an excellent deal.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. But even the
New
sanding
German
disc,
stuff,
you know, they click in like this. See? So
Do you
you've
think
got.
it might be because with the old ones we would have probably over tightened them, Rich?
I think they lose.
Drums.
The rubber inside there gets hot, and then the drum starts to slip off. And then as soon as you get that drum coming off over the edge, it explodes because it unwinds itself. Now, with this click system, you've got this. Where is it? There it is. You know, if you put a disc on, you literally pull that, put it through the disc, and it's on. It doesn't come off at all. Anyway, but I swear by this system. It is, if you've got 30 odd quid to spend on the kit, it's a no-brainer, to be honest.
Good to know.
Okay, so I'm going to change
I
it
hadn't
now.
heard of that before. That looks really cool.
It's brilliant.
Mike
nothing-
Lang,
It works
yes,
really well,
yes,
deal.
the click system is the Dremel brand.
Yeah, this. There's nothing up with this drum. This sanding drum here. It's too fine for this. So I'm not technically changing it because I'm wearing it out. I'm going with a.
Oh, I think we need to go to the judges for that one. What do we
This
think,
is a-
guys? Is that him on to number 2?
This is an 80 grit.
Richard's now gone to the 80 grit gouge.
So this was like 120 or something like that. So we'll use that in a bit. So it's not being thrown away. Right.
Yeah, In answer to your question,
Yes, Mike.
it depends on the
click
finish
system
you're
is
looking for.
Dremel.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, Barry. I think he's on to number 2. I think he's on to number 2. I can see me getting one of those because I use the rubber drums quite a bit, and they are a faff. You wind up with
Yeah,
3 or
they are.
4 of them.
Yeah.
Like Lang said, another 200-piece kit to add to the collection.
That's mine.
Yeah. The flat wheels are quite good. I find that the flat wheels are quite good when getting in about some of those things.
I need some new flap wheels, definitely.
Well, I've got 1 or 2 for like a full size drill, but for most of the stuff I do, they're just too big.
Yeah.
That looks like how a successful way to cut things off. Mostly parts of me, I would imagine, if I was using that.
That looks pretty aggressive there.
It does indeed.
They're actually quite fun to use when you're turning with the lathe going.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the saw blades, definitely fun to use when the lathe's going round.
Do you know what? I put
Is that
the
for putting detail lines or?
No, just for skipping it across as the wood's turning.
Okay.
But not with the
like a
Dremel. But not with the
texturing tool,
Dremel running.
I stick these.
Oh yeah,
in my,
have the Dremel running as well.
Can we
put
see
them
it?
on drill.
Can we see how many fingers you've still got? I mean, can we just check?
Yeah,
That looks scary.
I am scared of this.
Yeah.
I put it on my pillar drill, and then I've got my X and Y vice, and I use this as type of a what do you call it? A milling machine,
drill.
a milling bit.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, okay.
I mean, you put it. If you put it in a drill press, you could kind of get the same. I suppose you could get the
I
same
must admit,
idea.
that looks like a saw micro saw blade, and from what I do, that usually needs to be in a controlled tool with some kind of riving knife.
Something between me and it, or between you and it, that sort of thing, you know.
Yeah, like a nice bit of solid steel table.
Barry Godfrey says Dremel Speed Click kit is available on Amazon for a Black Friday deal for a 100-piece kit for only $16.99 instead of $33. So that's worth going after.
What?
Yeah, so it's half price basically,
Mad.
more or less half price. A good one, Barry.
Get it,
Colin
guys.
Bennett. He's got one of the pre-addressed. Colin Bennett says I've got pre-addressed with my Clark grinders. He broke one in the last 2 days, so he can't use his now. He thought a Clark bridge good as butternut Armitage just break. So if you're interested in one of these Speed Click kits, I reckon off to Amazon, kind of like I'm doing now.
We actually got one of those Arbortech turbo plane blades the other day.
Really?
We've got a load of Waney Edge. We just tried it out this afternoon. We're doing a load of Waney Edge worktops for a customer, and wow, the speed that we can clean that back with, just immense, and a really clean cut. It's really impressive. We've got about probably about 40 meters of Waney Edge to clean up and sort out, so really needed it.
sounds like a good buy then.
You don't remember I used it at Glenn's place, Dale?
So you did. You cut
the Arbitec place. Yeah.
That was where you were. Where you were looking at the bottom, cleaning up the bottom of that bowl, and I thought,
that's right. Yeah.
Mr. Heel, how the devil are you?
Hi, Andy.
Hey, Andy. How you doing this evening?
So on Amazon UK, it's the Dremel 723 Easy Speed Click Multi-Purpose Tool Accessory Kit. It's $16.99.
They're going to suddenly get a load of sales in the next half an hour, aren't they?
$33.71, you save £16.22. It's a good shout, Barry. That's one definitely. They do the 100. It's quite interesting right now because on Black Friday, the difference between the 100. The 100 kit and the 150 kit is almost twice. The 150 kit is almost twice the price. So it's one to get into if that looked as cool as it really did. No, standing clicky things. 150. Yeah, it looks very good. One to get.
In response to Mike Lang, I haven't seen Cutzel brand before, but that's not to say that we can't get it. I'm guessing that's an American brand, is it?
Andy has said that his lovely other half's father is in intensive care in Spain, and she's going tomorrow. Andy, our thoughts are with him. Thoughts are with you. Please look after her. Please look after yourself. And hope everything goes well tomorrow for you, for when she gets there, and that he's okay.
Yeah. Andy, if you need anything, you know where I am, mate. Only around the corner. It's still on there. Don't panic. It's still on there.
Two. We think two. We think two. It's not one. It's two. It's technically two. Flap wheel. That's cheating. Wait a minute. He's on the flap wheels now. Andy says that his other half father won't be okay, and I'm very, very sorry to hear that. If there's anything you need, I'm sure everyone here will move heaven enough to help you. If you help you guys, if you need it.
Definitely.
Perfect.
Nice.
What beverages are you planning to put in this cup, or is it for decoration, Richard?
Probably some nice quality tea. Yeah. Because when I'm out camping with the scouts, I can brew that up really easy.
What do you think?
You can't really take your whiskey out with you.
Yeah. Well, it's exactly where my head was going. I was going to say, Wayne, what do you think? Better whiskey in that?
Oh, definitely.
Trust me.
You'll get some nice tannin from the yolk.
Yeah.
If I put whiskey in this, I will quite possibly never ever be allowed to do scouting again. Because I'll probably ring you next.
Stephen Hurley says, hello guys, how much have you missed? Well, previously on the Beard 16, we have a bet on the go as to how many sanding pieces Rich is going to use in the creation of this Cusk. Was it, Wayne?
Cuska.
Cuska. Richard has declined to put whiskey in it in case he's never allowed to scout ever again. So we wonder what it's going to taste like with tea. Andy says it means he's in charge of Jacob for 5 days. So he's getting a mohawk. Well, there's always something, you know. We need to see pictures of that, Andy. We need to see pictures of young Jacob complete with Viking mohawk. Steve Hurley says he's been told that warm liquids such as tea or coffee expand the wood grain more than cold liquids. Are you waterproofing the inside, Richard?
I've never made one of these before. I even had this design was kind of inspired by one off YouTube. It's not the same because the one off YouTube had 2 holes in it. And then there's others that are kind of shaped like a trigger. But so I've done the research on YouTube to see what they're doing with it. Some people stick it in linseed oil. Some people mineral oil, and that's all they're doing. They're not putting anything else in the inside at all.
Yeah,
that's
tongue oil works well as well.
Tongue oil.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
I did. Well, how many was it? I think it was 85 wine glasses for a medieval wedding, wooden ones, obviously. And I just soaked them in tongue oil, and they were absolutely fine.
Oh, right.
Hot liquids, with hot liquids, I don't think it's going to make any difference as long as the thickness of the wood's there, which I think with what Rich has got there will be.
Yeah, it's about 6 mil.
Yeah, I mean that'll be fine.
Yeah,
that'll be fine. I mean, people have used wooden bowls for centuries for hot stuff, and they've always worked fine.
Right then.
This is all bringing thoughts. I'm curious. I turned a Roman canteen from oak, and I reckon approximately about 2 litre capacity inside. I've never tested it, and I'm really nervous about filling it full of liquid because I don't want it to leak through the wood and stain on the outside.
Well, the thing is, Sherman, it'll expand the wood anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, look at whiskey barrels.
Yeah, well, this is what I sort of. It's based off of something that was done for thousands of years. Roman canteen.
Yeah.
Crafty Claire has come into the chat. Hi, Claire.
Hi, Claire.
Hi, Claire.
Okay.
I just always worry about the long grain, because when for a barrel, it's based on the long grain being where the moisture hits.
Yeah.
Because of the way it's turned from one piece, the outside bottom edge is all end grain. I just worry that
but
the liquid's just going to go through the.
It probably will to a point, but it's still going to expand all the grain within the canteen anyway.
Yeah.
Even though the type of thing that Rich is doing there.
Yeah, well, this is what I was looking at what Richard's doing, and obviously the grain at the bottom of the cup is the same as the outer ring of this canteen.
There's a sort of principle that coopering in the barrels do. They depend, exactly as you say, they depend upon the swelling of the timber to actually seal it.
Yeah,
and you're right about the exposure of the end grain at the top and the bottom of the barrel of the coopering process. But the amount of seep you get through any wood will depend how long the liquid's in it.
that's true. Yeah.
So this, I mean, if he's holding a cup of tea in it for a couple of days, I think you're right. I think it'll work its way through. But the reality is that these things are probably going to hold fluids for a relatively short period of time and then dry.
Something like this, I totally agree with you. it's my concern with this canteen is obviously it technically be storing a liquid in it for a longer period.
Yeah, I would suggest based on no experimentation and just supposition that a version of the coopering process is where we'd want to be. Exposing exposing the side grain rather than the end grain.
Yeah, I think I had planned to, off the back of doing that one, do a segmented version, where you could have the long grain as the ring of it, and then the 2 flat panels, so that the internal is all long grain.
Yeah.
Which would give the same effect as a barrel, essentially. Sort of.
That's looking really good, Richard. Starting to pick up the shape.
Yeah.
Nice and smooth.
Joy English has just come into the chat. Hi, Joy.
Hi, Joy.
Hi, Joy.
And
we didn't see him. Did he go onto a third wheel or?
So we're not sure if that's the first wheel used again or it's a different one. I think we have to assume it's the first wheel again.
That's the first wheel, which is the 120 grit, and this is the 80 grit. I haven't changed. All I've done is change from that one to that one.
Okay.
So it's still usable. I'm going to use it in a minute.
Okay. Andy here was saying if the drink is left for days, it will eventually leak. But I'm assuming we'll drink it first. Andy will 100% agree. 100% agree.
Yeah.
You see that? Even glass leaks.
Absolutely. Look through the top. There's a big hole in the glass every single time. I mean, it's a terrible thing. You know, I mean, the amount of them I've had to drain because of it.
I suppose thinking about it, the way forward for me would be to see if I could get a big enough piece of resin from GTS.
Well, now there's a completely different conversation about what is the chemical makeup of the resin and whether or not you're exposing what you're exposing to yourself. Because I'm sure they do food safe ones, but you probably need to be careful.
Well, the polyester resin that they do is used for kids' toys, so it's safe to be chewed by children. So to me, that's pretty safe. And then the acrylic's actually a next level up from there. It actually will not hold bacteria. It doesn't leach. It's completely non-porous.
So yeah, it was the leaching process that was what I was thinking about, chemical leaching from the material. But if that's the case, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think
the ivory they do, Sherman, is certainly they do that at 100 millimeter diameter anyway.
Yeah.
So that would make a decent sized wine glass.
Yeah, that would make an awesome sized wine glass. Actually, even that's half of what were we at there? 80,
Hi, Hoppers 2010.
84.
Glad you're here.
I think even that would have been a good sized glass. I might see if I can get some of the Kironite in a slab form, so a wider slab, before they cut it up.
Do they do anything? Do they do anything that color? I mean, do they do anything that color?
That's a very interesting packet. I've got some colours close to it. Still, they're fairly close. And then for the red. I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I call it Deadpool. For me,
yes, I can see why. Andy says yes, they do. Huey Linehartz has just come into the chat. Hi, Huey.
Hi, Huey.
Hi, Huey. How you doing?
Resin Jaffa Cake Box. That's a challenge. I think this is a full bridge work he's getting done today, kind of thing. Or he's at the orthodontist who's complaining about having to clean up his mouth. The amount of time he's doing all this grinding. Hi, Stace. Hope everything's okay.
Hi, Stace.
Hi, Stacey. Really starting to look quite smooth and comfortable there.
Yeah.
Nice few finger holes.
The ever popular 80 gouge strikes again.
Most helpful tool in the arsenal, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What's he going to do at the Cubs when all the lads say, "I want to make one"?
He's going to have to teach them. He's going to have to teach them.
Yeah. Get them a set of chisels.
I'll tell them to sod off.
Can you still do that, Rich?
Honestly, if your word against theirs.
Andy Hill says he loves the fact that GPS acrylic is wiped clean. He says it opens it up to a whole new industry of possibility.
Yeah, it really does.
You'll notice that the bottom is quite square, isn't it? But it has to
Will
be.
it sit nicely?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It'll kind of sit on a log or something.
Right. So
That's
What are you doing about the inside, Rich? Is it nice and smooth, or is that getting some work?
it's fairly smooth. Yeah, I need to go in there with this one just to smooth it a little bit more, but then it'll be fine like that. Right, so
Chris Walker says that Handmade by Sarah is still watching. Her phone's gone flat. You know, it's a kindred spirit for you, Richard. I mean, how are we doing for battery and use?
13% on mine. Right. So I've switched back to the first one that I put on. Okay. So technically, I'm using 2. Okay. I don't know what the odds are. I don't know what's up for grabs, but I'm on 2 at the moment.
On 2. I don't know.
Yes, how are you?
I don't think anyone guessed that low, did they?
Nobody, I don't think. Somebody said 1. I don't know how this is going to work, but we'll give it a go.
Yeah, I can see that fine deal.
Cool. I wasn't going to try and say it. I would assume that if this is Swedish, they might make more of these out of pine or out of some conifer. More.
Probably
There's quite a few videos on them, Dale. Using the spoon carving tools. So they're sort of sitting there doing them in the traditional way. Very interesting to watch.
Might have a hunt around. watched a few carving videos, and some of the guys that do this. I think isn't there a up near where you are, Wayne? Isn't there a Scottish spoon hoodie or something they do? Quite a few years out round about your way somewhere.
Don't know. Haven't heard of it.
I think it was Ken Makes over in Dunblane. I think he was saying there's one over that way somewhere.
All right.
Is that burning that, Rich, or is the
I'm going to switch back to the 80 grit.
okay?
Colin, yes, JP has gone to America. I think he's with Carl Jacobson as we speak.
He is. He's there with his other half, Vicky. They're with Carl and Carl's lovely wife, Robin. We should expect being bombarded with very strange, compromising images over the next week or so on Instagram and on Facebook, as he undoubtedly they move forward on the tour. I think they're catching up with Jake Thompson down in Texas, and this will be Jamie's first Thanksgiving in the US. That would be one for a live, but I don't think Jake's mum will go for that.
Hoppers, you're probably not far off the money there with burning the inside. I know it's an old technique for making timber last longer when you stick it in the ground.
But that's what Coopers do with the barrels.
Yeah.
They burn the inside of the barrels before they put them together. Well, they sort of get them partly together, then they stick them over a flame, so the whole of the inside of the barrel gets burnt, and then they put the rings on to tighten them down.
Yep.
Right. What was I saying about them exploding?
Oh, that would mean number 3.
Yeah. So, push that one to the limit, I think.
We're on to number 3. Who said 4? Who in the chat said 4?
Technically, I've still got the 120 grit there. Look.
Mm-hmm. Who in the chat said 4?
That was quite a while ago.
It was quite a while ago.
Sneaks was in there at 4.
Clive, this is looking awfully close to being right now. We've just got this one to get through. Colin says, your dad says, Richard, they only explode if you're pushing them too hard.
That probably was.
Sometimes you just got to get done, Rich?
How thick are you planning to take the rim, Rich?
Sorry?
How thick is the rim going to be?
Fairly thick. I'm just rounding it over. That's all I'm doing, really.
I'm wondering how much of that you could do on the lathe, Wayne. You know, with a bit of offset turning or multi-axis turning.
Ooh, aye. Well, you could get, well, obviously, Rich has done the inside of the bull. You could get part of the outside done as well. But then you would have to go back to the carving anyway.
Yeah. Hi, Sheza.
Hi,
Hope
Cheryl.
you're feeling better.
Hi, Shares.
And next says carving seems to be a bit like pyro, where you have to take your time with it. I would thoroughly agree with you, Nick. I'm sure everyone here would too. Did anyone catch Jake Bennett, Richard's son, doing his first bit of chainsaw power carving over the weekend?
Yeah, I saw that the other day. It was pretty good for a first time.
Really was really good. Really good. Great things we expect now. He's set the bar. You know, for first entry, set the bar. More to come.
Onwards and upwards.
David McLaren asks, does anyone here watch The Repair Shop? David, is that I think it's the BBC Two show, where they do, they've got a range of craftsmen and fix watches, clocks, or whatever. Is that the show we're talking about?
Is that the one in the barn?
The one in the barn? Yes, that's the one he says. Yes, I watch The Repair Shop whenever I can. There's some really there's a guy who's a watch maker, I don't know what would be the term would be. I'm going to say watchsmith. I'm not sure that's the right term, but I just love watching him work. The detail, everything he gets, he just seems to make so much better. And the lady who does the porcelain or the ceramic repair is awesome. You watch her fixing things that have been wrecked beyond belief, and you can't tell when she's done. It's just she's really talented.
Very clever.
And then there's another chap does musical boxes. He does all the repair on the musical boxes and old music things, like old phonographs, and he's really. It's really interesting to watch him fixing the little pins on the drum and correcting.
I think the last one I saw, Dale, was the guys who were on repairing the bagpipes.
Yeah. That's. I mean, I'd never seen the inside of bagpipes before. All those years of being a Scotsman, kind of thing, and just never knew what was going on the inside of the things. Knew about the noise that came out. David says you can go and visit it. Apparently, which is quite fun. Where is it, David?
Oh, I know he's got the big boy stuff on there.
Barry says the name of the guy that does all the clocks is a horologist. I would have thought a horologist was someone who knew all about the Evil Dead and Army of Darkness, but there you are.
I'll get over there afterwards, Cheryl.
West Sussex. It's down in West Sussex, which isn't that far, I guess, from where I am.
Oh, right.
Not far. Mama Shed says, can you please all go over to Jake's channel, like we were talking about, Ellen? Please go over. He's doing copper and carving. I should have his first video up soon, so please go over and subscribe.
I thought I already had, but I'll double check after.
I've just done exactly the same thing. I'm looking forward to you painting the chainsaw, Jake. That's the one I want to see. I want to see what color it comes out when you're done. There was a rumor it was going to be copper, but we'll see what he comes up with. It's at this point he's telling you that he's going to give you a filling and or root work. Yeah, I think this is a root canal treatment. Like whoever's getting it was quite, and he's there for a while going in.
Digging out, ready for that filling.
Yep. So the repair shop is actually in the Weald and Downland Living Museum, and they regularly film. If you subscribe to the site and go and look at it, they tell you when they're filming. You can go and visit and see where it's taking place. They seem to post that up there quite a bit, and you can get to go and meet the cast and meet various people when they're there. That was a good shout, Dave. Like that.
Cool.
Just been in sub to your channel, Jake.
I need to go and find a pencil. Ow!
Talk amongst ourselves.
That's if I can stand it.
Can you check if everything's still there? I mean, you've got that bit of leather over you. Is everything still intact? Oh, sorry. Is everything still intact as it was before you started?
Oh God! I've got a numb bottom. Right. I need a pencil.
Uh-oh.
It looks like my youngest son Thomas has been in this workshop. Now, what business has a rivet got doing on a resin pendant? I mean, look at that. I come in here and I find all sorts of strange, wonderful things.
So at least he's trying.
Yeah. My patience, yeah.
Rich, the quick change thing, I thought that was just for the tops, but you seem to be able to change the bits in the Dremel very quickly. I seem to remember it always used to be the lock and the little spanner, and
there's no need to lock these off ridiculously.
You just hand tighten.
Just hand tighten. There's no need to do anything like that.
Sherman, you can actually get a very small Jacob's chuck to fit in the Dremel.
Yeah, I've got one of
them. Really?
Hand tightened Jacob's chuck.
Yep, I've got one of them.
Back in a minute.
Fair enough. I've never really used the Dremel much since I was about 15.
I was using it for a little while. I got a little Jacob's chuck for it because I was changing drill bits, very, very fine drill bits on it. And it made such a difference because before it was a complete faff. Opening it out, getting them out. It was really, 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 really good.
I seem to remember they always used to have all collets, like a millimeter difference.
They still come with the collets, but you can get a Jacob's chuck now.
Oh, that's very handy.
Hi, Jen. Jen took an accident. Jen took an accidental nap.
I do that every afternoon.
I'd
That's
love to have time.
Sat on the couch. This is sat on the couch with a coffee in front of you, and the next thing you know,
Yeah.
It's a Sunday afternoon.
The joys of being retired.
You've done your time, Wayne.
Oh, definitely.
Right. Okay. So, where am I? I did have a drink here. Coffee.
Well, you've got a mug. You should
Not
have a
in your
drink.
cup, is it?
No, I've got a one of those drinks things that keeps it.
this is going to be like a "Where's Wally?" isn't it? Kind of thing. Well, I've got to see if we can see the drink now.
See, if my one of my sons appreciated anything I did for them, they'd bring it outside, wouldn't they?
If you yes, and so what you're saying is that if your family really cared for you, they would take your father, family, out a drink, family.
Comment. At least you know where it is now.
It's upstairs, Richard.
Oh,
Jake's on his way.
shouting it at me. It's upstairs. Right, who have we got in? We've got Jen, Dad, Cheryl. Who else? We've got Joy,
Ives there, Joy English.
Luke's, David, Claire, Huey, Stace. Oh, Stace is in this week. Jake. Oh, Jake's changed his name to Copper and Carving by Jake. Who else is here? Jeff.
Andy's still there. Claire.
Yeah, Jeff, Barry, Andy.
Obviously, Clive's still here.
Right. Well, anyway, it's turning out quite nice, actually. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to carve some kind of a leaf on the top or something, and then maybe follow it round some. I don't know.
You gonna power sand the bottom just to polish and shape?
Yeah. I'll do that on the belt sander because I can get it perfectly flat then. I don't know. I might not do the top. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Dave says it's nice to see something different.
Yeah. Look, just trust me, guys. This is by no way. It's not perfect. It's very rough. But it's the first one I've ever done. So it's smooth, but it
purposeful.
If you look closely at it. So
it's rough but smooth. Is that sort of what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's smooth, but like for instance, see how that side is a lot smoother. Oh, there's a little bit there, look at this. If you look at it that way, it's not perfect, is it? See this square, oblong. It's kind of.
It doesn't need to be though. I mean, that's the beauty of the hand carving process.
Yeah.
It's going to ruin the taste of your drink.
Yeah.
Completely. I agree. That's
the
effective flavor, something criminal.
Drinking out of that, Rich.
One of those stupid platform shoes, doesn't it?
Does a bit. Not so much
got
the
a heck of
Spice
a
Girls,
heel on
more the Unicorn Girls over here. Look at this.
Yeah.
You know.
Right then. I'll away.
Joyce suggested carve a small divot or some ridges for the grip.
What, under there? I could do, yeah. I tell you what, it'll hurt if you get whacked on the head with it, trust me. Right then. Come on, there you go.
I mean, you just every time I read Nick has a comment, rough shape but smooth to the touch. I guess I keep thinking of maybe 10 or 20 possible comedy sentences to say at that point. All of them would get me into trouble.
Did he find his pencil?
Don't know.
Never said. Didn't see him get his drink either.
No, I didn't.
Jake, man, you know what I mean? Your
How far away
reputation's
is the
flipping
upstairs?
here. The kitchen is a matter of feet from where he is. Joy says she meant where your finger goes, mate.
What there?
Yeah. Jake says it's coming. He has to get his shoes on, man.
Right. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I might. Let's see. What should I put on it?
Well, I mean, you mean it's easy in your channel. I mean, you naturally drift towards something unicorny. But
David, this one's for you. Pencil, tape measure.
you can just see you going through customs in an airport, going, "Oh wait, no, I've got one. Wait a minute." Tape measure. One of those blokes at wood turning club who goes, "Oh wait a minute, I've got an 8 mil, I've got a 30 mil span in my back pocket. I've got you covered."
When I was at Harrogate, I went along to, they had a couple of stands with lots and lots of cheap tools and stuff, and spanners and sockets and things like that. Could I, for the life of me, find a bloody 10 mil socket? Even they didn't have any.
Oh, no one's got a 10 mil.
10 mil sockets. I don't know. There has to be. I mean, there's got to be a bespoke shop somewhere, kind of thing, that just sells 10 mil sockets, singular 10 mil socket for every manufacturer.
Every town.
They go to the same place as the socks in the washing machine. They just disappear. Now, the thing is about 10 mil sockets, 13 mil spanners, 7/16 and half-inch spanners, as we used to use in the army, is that this isn't a new thing. I've been losing these since 1974.
There's clearly a finite number of these in the universe, and they have to get recollected and redistributed. There's probably a mathematician somewhere who's got an equation for the number of 10 mil sockets in the world.
That would be for snap-ons. I don't know how many extra to make.
Or snap-ons with everybody used to pinch the snap-on ones.
Oh dear. Oh, it's Cheryl says the sock fairy and the spanner fairy. Well, I'm not sure it's a sock. Not sure it's a sock fairy. I think it's a small creature that lives in your laundry basket and eats them, because you can never find them afterwards. Maybe we all have gremlins and are nicking them all. I think that's probably closer to the truth.
Yeah, definitely.
Jake, where's this tea, man? Or where's this coffee, man? Your dad's he's going to expire here through dehydration.
David was asking what else I've got sitting here. Got a pen.
I'm really sad. I've just got Raspberry Pis and stuff sitting around. I've no spanners. I've no spanners at all. I mean, I'm not here anyway.
Stop.
Look at that! Yay!
Thank you.
Well done, that man. It's the government stealing our socks and collecting our DNA, says Andy. Andy, you may be right. I seem to recall once seem to recall once reading something about the German Stasi, the East German Stasi doing that. So you might be right. You may be right.
Someone's finding
Hello.
their drink.
Hi, Jake.
Hi, Jake.
Thank you for subscribing.
No bother.
Let's see the back of it. Let's do the turnaround. Let's see the back of the hoodie. Come on. Proper
The t-shirt
proper,
friendly.
proper music.
Yeah.
Right, so what I'm going with is, can you see them? There's a acorn there, and there's an oak leaf there, and there's another oak leaf and another oak leaf.
That's pretty cool.
So far.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Joy reckons she's found all the missing spanners. It's your fault, Richard. You gave us them all inside your chat.
Fair play, you got me there.
Sorry, Jen. Jen said. Jen.
The big boy's coming out now.
David McLaren says Cheryl buys the pen. Cheryl says she buys pencils in bulk. David McLaren says he knows who to ask. Yes, David. The people to ask for pencils are Screwfix and IKEA. Let's be honest.
Screwfix, they give them away for free.
They do. That's a walk along and help yourself.
As long as you like half-size pencils.
Well, you know, I mean, it's the ear. I mean, it's the measure of the ear, isn't it? Can it go into the ear and stay there? I mean, that's the measure. You know,
I used to be amazed. I used to be able to get changed after a day's work and still have the pencil behind my ear.
Oh, God, I can't do this. You know, if it's too big a pencil, certainly my ears, it doesn't stay put. But one of the little ones, that's the ticket. So with my bald head, I could probably Velcro something up there to stick it there.
I was going to say, you need the hair there, the hair.
Jen is inquiring, Richard, are you doing the potty dance? I think she means, are you needing the toilet?
No.
Yeah, so Nick the Flaming Turner just says Argos is also the place for pencils too, so he's right. So we've got Argos, Screwfix, and IKEA. You used to get the pens in Ladbrokes. I don't think you do anymore.
eBay all the way.
I wouldn't know about that.
Not that I can stand standard pencils these days.
No?
Fully mechanical. Yeah.
Exactly
I
what I
swapped
use.
over about two years ago. Never looked back. No more sharpening. No more pissing about.
I find the step too easy.
Broken leads.
They do. They definitely do. So I mean, if it's rough and work, big, thick, chunky wooden pencils, you can sharpen with a Stanley knife. If I'm marking something up with detail, mechanical pencil all the way.
Yeah.
So then I scroll saw stuff. When I'm doing scroll saw stuff, the mechanical pencil lets you mark up really, really close in detail, but you're not putting any pressure. But if I'm doing anything big, I got a big heavy pencil all day long.
If you're rough marking out, you need the Sharpie, innit?
Yeah. You want a pencil you can attack with an axe. I mean, that's what you're after.
Proper carpet pencil.
I don't know why. It's kind of the pencil I imagine Andy Heal having a big pencil and he's attacking the Viking axe to sharpen it to get it to use it, kind of thing. I don't know. Just an image thing.
Surely it's with a machete.
But it could be with a machete. But I like the idea of a Viking throwing axe, and he's cutting it down in front of us. Caitlin the cat's just come into the chat.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin.
Andy says he sharpens them by looking at them sternly. I think.
Hi, Wooden Things again.
Night, Claire.
Night,
Good
Claire.
to see you. You need to leave now for a 9 to 5. Okay. Have a good night. Sleep well. You obviously need it.
Dave McLaren says you would never lose that pencil rack Nick Zametti made. No,
this is very true.
No,
would
you
not
wouldn't
lose
lose
that
that.
pencil.
Definitely not. Wooden Things EU is in. This is his first time in. He's in Australia, because I'm sure it's Australia. Because
Yes.
earlier on in the previous one, before I came onto this live, he said it was 6:25. So I would think.
Huh?
What's that, an hour later? So anyway, it's probably still before 8 o'clock where he is.
Hi, Wooden, or should we say g'day, mate?
That was close, just before 8 o'clock.
That's dedication. Being on this live that time in the morning. Dedication.
Very Wooden Things.
Wooden Things says, how's it hanging? I'm not sure. We'll find out when Richard stops using the leather thing. We'll be able to work that out for ourselves. Caitlin, he's using a Dremel with, I think that's a ball burr on the end of it. Very small one.
It looks like one of the dentist ones.
Mm.
Problem is, it hurts your back bent over like that. Right, I got the very. Ow. I had to fight them with my mask. Didn't want to come off my head. So I've just started out roughing out the basic shape of these leaves, which is quite difficult, really, because the grain's going this way, and I've got to cut all different ways, and the grain doesn't like it.
No.
So what I think I might do is put the other burr on, the great big one, and just start working up to the line that I've taken away.
Yeah.
So it's more embossed, you know.
I'm surprised you haven't glue blocked that onto your carbon jig, Richard.
The thing is, I've got yeah, I find it's a lot easier just to move it round with my hand.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I'm not used to carving jigs.
Neither am I. Don't have one.
What's a carving jig?
It's a jig for carving.
Really? My word.
I think
have you not seen them, Dale?
No, I'm not sure I have.
All right. So basically, you can mount a piece of wood in your wood turning chuck and put it onto the carving jig, so you can get it into all different positions for when you're carving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have one, but
made by Paul Howard, sold by Simon Hope.
So I might have seen that. So that's where you take the chuck and it's got like an M33 thread or an 1/8 of an inch thread on it. And you can take the chuck and all right, yeah. I think I might have seen that. I wondered what they were called. Richard, Caitlin has asked. She wants to know about the Dremel you're using.
Okay, right. So let's. Oh, excuse me. Oh, hiccups. So, which one? The big one or little one, or both of them?
I think maybe a bit of both.
Both.
So,
yeah, explain both.
Okay. So this is the Dremel 3000. I personally think there's not a lot between the 3000 and the 4000. The 4000, the speeds are a little bit different. I think you've got a glass window, haven't you, or something like that up there. But pretty much the same. Dale's got 4000, haven't you, Dale?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much
the speed wheel is slightly different. The handle's a little chunkier and thinner, but other than that, it's still the same fittings at the front. You know, it takes all the same accessories.
I've never had a problem with the 3000. I have been. I think I'm getting a full com from Dremel anyway, but I use the hose as not hose. It's a flexi cord as well with it. I don't know if you all know, but I've got no feeling in my thumb, so I have to grip this really hard. There's no way I could actually use a Dremel like this. There's no way I could do it.
Don't know anyone that does, really. Everyone uses a flexi shaft.
Yeah.
Have you had the flexi shaft break on you?
Never. What I do with a flexi shaft is I strip out the, it's like a brass coil type thing in there.
Mm-hmm.
Strip that out regular and grease it.
Clean it.
Yeah, you can actually, if you want to do this side, don't undo that side, whatever you do, leave that alone. But undo this side, where it pokes out, you can strip that out, grease it, put it back in, done. And it you know, you never have any problems with it.
Good idea.
That's why this has lasted so long. I know people that have gone through them quite quickly. And Dremels themselves. What I do as well with the Dremel is because I'm using the flexi shaft, these little vents are nowhere near any of the dust or anything that's going to get sucked into it.
Before my 4000, I had one of the older black ones that didn't really have a number. I can't remember what its particular model was, and the dust killed it because I was using it right up close to everything. So yeah, I'd completely understand.
I've certainly never had a problem with mine.
Yeah.
No. I know people have. They burn them out because they're too close to where they're using them and it's sucking all the rubbish in. Anyway, and then the finger one. I'm not sure if these are available in the UK. This was a gift direct from Dremel to me. And these were made. This is the Dremel 2050. I don't know if you can search down and see if they're available yet, but when it was given,
I think I looked at them the other night. But yep, let me just check.
when it was given to me, it was given because they are doing so well in America at the moment. These were made for the Japanese market, and they've done so well over there. They've introduced them into America. They've done so well there, so they're introducing them into the UK. They may have already done it. I don't know, but I had this.
You can buy the UK version of it. Isn't called a 20. Well, it's a Dremel F013 2050 JB Styly rotary. They're about £42 retail in the UK.
Yeah, they're really good. But I found with these, if you really press down hard, they'll cut out.
Right. Quite a small motor then.
I
suppose they're only designed for detail, really, aren't they?
Yeah. That's spinning now, right? But watch this. I can actually if I increase it a little bit. See, that's actually stopping it.
Right.
But what'll happen is if you push down hard, it'll cut out. Then you've got to turn it on again, and then So they're only made for fine detail work. These are.
They've got a little side name, so they're really calling them the Dremel Stylo Plus. Is really what they're calling them in the UK.
Yeah.
Along with the 2050 designation.
Yeah, but they are really good. But for that kind of money, you might as well get a 3,000. To be honest, what are the 3,000? 60, 70 quid now?
Thereabouts. They're doing a new one where it's around the 100 quid mark. That's also they're doing one that's got a battery. Yeah, so you can pick up a 3,000 actually today for £32.
Oh, bloody hell!
Wow. I take it that's without the flexi shaft.
That's the basic kit. Full-on flexi shaft today with Black Friday deal is £45.99.
In that case, I would
go wrong.
I'd go with the 3,000 and the flexi shaft before I'd go with this.
Yeah.
And the stuff you said about the maintenance, Rich, it's really important. So many people forget about maintaining their tools.
Yeah.
If you want something to last, you need to look after it.
Definitely, I totally agree.
You can't blame the manufacturer when you don't look after a tool.
No. Well, it's like it's like anything. If you look after it, it's going to last you, isn't it? Right.
Yeah.
Let's do a little bit more of this. What are we on? The chances
We're
are
on 97 minutes so far.
I will finish this carving bit. I'm not going to do the other side tonight. I'll do that at my leisure. I'll just do this tonight until we get to the 2 hour mark.
Evening, Wayne.
Okay. Oh, there's Wayne, and there's Doug.
Evening, Wayne of the Big Feets. Doug has decided that Jaffa cakes are overrated. Does everyone feel the same?
No.
No. Jaffa cakes for life.
Sorry, mate. Don't like them.
I don't know.
You're right, Jay. Oh, sorry.
Rich, the light's a little bright again. It's kind of washing out the detail of where you're working.
Can you tilt that one up a little bit, Jake? No, the other one. That one. That one. See it?
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah. Tilt it up. Twist it. Or even unplug it if you like. Oh, is that any better?
Think so, yes.
Yeah. That's
It's like, I can't see now because I was looking at the spotlight. I don't know if you. This is the kind of thing I've got dotted all around my workshop. They're like LED.
Little mini floodlights.
They're white lights. They're made for outside, but they're white lights, and they're really good. And you just dot them all around the ceiling. But they can kind of flood the place with light a little bit. Right, I can
What
see
you want for working, maybe not behind the camera.
Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft says the Val's great, surfing a little at the moment. She has made a lovely bowl of the weekend. She just went to be well enough to paint it. Wayne clasp a style with Joe Sonia's. Hope she feels better soon, Wayne. And we'll look forward to seeing that. Wayne, Caitlin's question. Could you pick that one out? Wayne, Caitlin asks, if you want to do small cutouts around the bowl or something, which bit would you use in the Dremel?
Small cuts around the bowl. I'd probably go for either a carbide burr, a bit like Rich is using at the moment, or a bigger one, or one of the saber-tooth burrs. The saber-tooth burrs are really good. I might well be using a couple of them tomorrow night on my live, so you can actually see what they're like. I think you get the saber-tooth ones you can get from, I think it's Woodcraft Art. You can get them from, and they fit quite nicely into the Dremel or whichever type of handheld carver you're going to use.
Nick Flaming Turner says Home Bargains has those very same lights that Rich showed us in the UK for around $5.99.
Oh, that's brilliant!
That's better.
Might have to get out there.
I think they're £8. I think me and Nick searched the whole of Warsaw for some, didn't we?
Wow. Doug,
Caitlin, with what I'm doing tomorrow night, I'll probably be still on there after 9 o'clock. I know I'm not usually, but tomorrow night I probably will.
Doug, Rich isn't in the UK. He's in the land of unicorns and rainbows.
Who's that, me?
Yeah. Colin, your wife sounds like my kind of lady if she's munched her way all through the Jaffa cake. Clearly a kindred spirit. you have my sympathies if she's eating them all and not giving you any, though. Doug says, Henry, I think is your dog, Doug, right?
Yeah.
Really likes the Jaffa cakes. Yeah, Henry's good taste. I can get behind that.
Jaffa cakes.
Henry should be out with his frisbee.
Should be.
Should be. Frisbee, Henry.
Right, chocolate is toxic to dogs, by the way.
Absolutely. The dogs. Has anyone told the dogs that?
So's raisins and sultanas as well.
I'd heard about the sultana.
And onions.
Really, onions?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, onions as well, and grapes.
Onions is about the only thing that
Does it
keep
say
the
anything
dog away
about-
from, and chocolate. but-
Yeah. What about? So, is there anything in there about beer?
No, other than they get drunk quicker than I do.
Doug was saying that Henry is an American pit bull, so he doesn't speak proper English.
I've met an
No
never met an
Americans
American
do,
yet
do
who
they?
does.
Nice, Wayne.
Nice one, Wayne.
Wayne, are you there? Going to be there for the whole weekend?
I don't think he can hear you, can he?
Wrong Wayne.
Wrong Wayne. He's talking to the other Wayne.
Wayne,
Oh,
Wayne of the big feet.
Bigfoot.
I'm
Oh.
talking to.
Sorry. So I don't know if you can see that, but I went round it first. I actually. Oh, let's have a look. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I use to. No, for the lining. It's like a dovetail burr, that is.
Okay.
Mm.
And then I went round with this flat burr. And now I'm just going to go tidying up with this cone burr. And then I'm going to call it a night because my back is seizing up and my fingers, my hand is seizing up.
Barry Godfrey asked, "Where is Make Essential?" Barry, it's at the Birmingham NEC, and it's on May 2nd and 3rd next year.
Do you have to travel far for it, Wayne? Just in a hotel.
If you're talking about the other Wayne, he comes from Sheffield.
My geography's awful, but I'm guessing that's quite a way.
Well, it's Yorkshire, and he's going down to Birmingham.
Yeah. Yeah, that is quite travel.
Geographically, not that bad. Road-wise, it's a bloody nightmare.
M6, isn't it? That's straight down the M6?
No, it'll be going down the M1. That's the other Wayne. I'll be going down the M6.
Yeah, M1, sod that. I'm planning on travelling up for the 2 days, up and down.
Good.
Up and down for the 2 days.
Yeah, I'm only an hour and a bit away.
But you missed
Alright.
the main
Just
point
that.
of going, which is not the show itself, which is the bar in the evening.
Oh, right, okay.
The
Yeah.
bar
Oh, yeah,
on Friday.
I haven't heard about this. This will be a first time for me, so...
Oh no! Everything happens afterwards, Sherman.
Oh, okay.
Everything else, the most important part, happens in the Hilton bar afterwards.
Okay. Maybe I'll have to work something out. We've already arranged a family to come up and look after the boy, so...
Oh, definitely then, sir. Definitely get into the Hilton bar with 200 or 300 other makers, all quietly getting pissed or laughing at the ones who are getting pissed.
I doubt it's going to be quiet.
That's enough for me.
Why can't you go, Caitlin? Oh, are you talking about the bar?
You can see it's kind of taking shape, can't you?
Oh, it's definitely taking shape, Richard. Looks brilliant.
That's looking awesome, Rich.
But yeah, I'll do these at my leisure, and I'll probably do a leaf a day.
You're going to have a lot of jealous scouts when you go out next.
Yeah.
Orders for Christmas.
Oh God. Yeah. 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 Me and Thomas went to the Hilton on the. When did we? The Friday? No, I went on the Friday. Thomas went on the Saturday. Yeah. So Thomas kind of just buggered off and made the rounds on his own. I was like, well, make a central. All he kept coming back was for cash. So he'd say, Dad, can I have more money? So he'd go off again. I said, as long as you don't go out of the doors, go wherever you like. And he was gone. So.
Andy, do you want to drop a link in for the podcast? Andy's saying he's Justin's guest on his podcast this weekend. Andy, do you want to drop a link in for that so as we can all kind of catch up with you and see what's going on?
Yeah, great.
Must be a link. If it's on Spotify, you'd be able to drop a link in, sir.
Yeah, should be able to. Yeah.
Party at MC. So how long do you think it'll take you to finish that now, Richard? The cup. What do you reckon? How many hours left in it, or minutes work to take it to a point that you'd be happy with it finished?
I'd say another 10 hours.
10 hours?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a fair investment.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to do it, you got to do it right.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's taken me 2 hours to get to that point. And all I've done is knock the corners off and made it smooth. But I mean, you can see the general outline of what I'm trying to do, but it's really rough. So there's a lot of tidying up to do on that before it's going to be done. But that is just the rough outline of the leaves. So I'm going to make them stick out. I mean, it's thick enough to have them sticking out quite a nice amount of,
Yeah.
Fair play.
But I'll say 10 hours. I don't know.
It's going to be nice and textured when it's finished.
Yeah, and I might even get some of Cheryl's green stain and do these leaves.
Wayne Bigfoot said, "Fantastic invade on the handles, Rich."
Oh, thanks. Cheers.
Yes, I've got to agree with him. It was brilliant, and I think, like I said on your live, if it happens next year that you do get up my way, the invade is probably going to last about 2 minutes compared to Yandles.
No, it won't. I've seen your workshop. No, it won't. Forever.
Not your way. I did Dale's invasion Saturday, and I did JP's invasion Saturday. JP's is going to be quite a quick one because he's got a really small workshop, but Dale's, I'm going to have to think about what to keep in, really, because it's going to be a long...
Did you have to take your shoes off before you went in there, Richard?
No. No, I must admit, Dale's has inspired me with my new workshop, and it's going to be kind of similar layouts, to be honest. Other than my...
Oh, please don't put the flooring in.
Flooring's awesome. The flooring in Dale's workshop just does my head in.
I thought, when I was thinking about what I'm going to do with Dale's workshop, I thought, oh God, that floor is going to play havoc with the camera, but it didn't.
Oh, that's a shame. Okay.
No. Is that what you did?
Havoc with mine.
Yeah. And I had Jake there as my cameraman, so I've changed the style of my invasions, just tweaked them a little bit. So I've got Jake as a cameraman, and I've I've included a few other little bits and pieces into the invasion. So I think I'm doing Claire on the 10th of December, Claire's Crafty Corner. I'm hoping to do Jim Overton if he's feeling better very soon. And who else we got? We've got Axminster Tools. So I don't know if I'm going to go around their factory or their shop. I think I might go around their factory because I think that will be more beneficial for the viewers, I think, to see how chucks are made and things like that, I reckon.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
He has offered, you know, if you want to do head office or, you know, where the factory is or the shop. So
is that the same place that they do a certain amount of training and stuff at Axminster? Because they do, they train their own staff. They have workshops as well.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's one of the lasses I know who now works for Axminster, Helen Bailey, who's from the northeast of England. Absolutely brilliant turner she is. Does some wonderful pierced work. She started working for Axminster earlier on this year, and she's been on quite a few courses. So obviously she's got the knowledge to speak to customers.
Well, you've got to know if you're going to sell a lathe, you really need to be able to use every aspect of that lathe.
Yeah,
to know what you're talking about. You know,
especially, I mean, obviously, someone that's new to it, you'll be able to deal with without knowing too much. But you get a slightly more experienced person and someone that doesn't know their stuff try to sell it, they're not going to get very far.
No. You need to know your products. You know. What's that? 10th. Yeah, I think the factory will. Yeah, looking at the chat, I think I'll do the factory. I could always go and do the showroom.
You could do a kind of speedy through the office and the showroom, but I think the main event has to be well, for me, the factory would be awesome. You're seeing behind the scenes of the business really at that point. That would be fun.
It's the same for the Yandles one, the bit where you went through all the mill and everything. That's what really makes a place like the Yandles. So
definitely. The only issue I had with the Yandles was that stupid octopus. Did you hear all the creaking and everything? That was the octopus.
I thought that was you.
Oh.
you mentioned that. I could barely hear it when I watched it.
I could. I cut so much out of that vlog because of that.
Larry in the chat said you could do a two-parter.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. Just get the external. Yeah, I am thinking of getting the external mic. Oh. But then it's not the mic, it's the mic on the GoPro, because there's 3 mics. They're not that great. But the creaking was me gripping the spongy octopus stand. That's what it was.
So was it the octopus stand or was it your hand? I'm still of the impression it was you.
See how this is? I had the octopus stand down like that, and I was holding the camera like that. And it was creaking. That's what it was.
Okay.
Well, it could have been my knees. Yeah. Thought it was your back, Huey. Yeah, so we've got some interesting invasions coming up. So next week is this week is Sneaks.
Ooh.
Sneaks is going to be a good one. Just remember, if you're watching, I use the octopus stand, so there is a bit of creaking, but
it's his hand.
Yeah, so is Sneak still in? Is he here still?
He is somewhere. He was somewhere around. Yeah, he's somewhere around.
Yeah, I think he's gone. I think.
He was, but
Oh,
I
good.
haven't seen him comment.
He's
for a
here.
while.
He's here. He's here.
All right.
Oh, cool.
So, Sneak, I'm expecting at least 50 of your finest friends in the chat Thursday. Yeah, so it's a premiere. I'm doing all of the invasions as a premiere, just so people can interact
no.
with the
That's
person.
terrible.
Yeah.
That's
Terrible.
really good fun.
And Dale is the only one that has kind of turned me on my head with the invasion, because he's kind of been taking the pee out of me every now and again. Every time we cut and we go into a new tape, he has to do this thing where he jabs at me, don't you, Dale?
Well, it's something I learned when I worked in another company, and that's what they do to get the smiles on the face. What they do is they take the piss out of each other before the camera starts running.
With the camera rolling.
You know, so you come into the shot with a grin on your face, or what? You know, that's what they did, because you stand. Otherwise, you're standing there like, thing.
Right, we're 2 hours, guys.
approach.
Should we call it that? Because my fire didn't really last because the wood was a bit damp.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Maybe Jen was right. That was the potty dance you were doing in the... Oh, we're gone.
He's gone.
We're gone.
Oh,
Where'd he go?
I don't want to be the live one. Let's get someone else up. Can we get someone else in the
We're
middle?
still here.
Yeah. Where did he go?
what's going on?
His phone ran out of power. He's left us. He's left us
Oh,
here
here we go.
his workshop.
Hey.
Oh, he's
He's
back.
back.
We're back. I lost you all there for a minute. I was just going to say, right, we're going to go, guys. And then it was like as if I just cut you all off.
Right, just remember, guys, tomorrow night, got my live at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Going to show some hollowing tools.
Oh,
Awesome.
I mean, that I'm
Cool.
interested in. So, definitely.
we get a chance to play with JP's number one. Was the number one hollow, or was it the swan necked
Yeah,
carbide one?
Well, both of them, but I like the swan neck one. That was just awesome. Oh,
But getting a
you
chance.
don't
to
need
be
them.
able to- So yes, absolutely. So I know I'm very much looking forward to that one tomorrow night.
definitely. Yeah. So, Sneak, 8 o'clock Thursday. That's what I've set it at.
Clive,
Okay.
we will apologise now. We'll apologise now, but we will have an image of you laughing like a drain off camera, kind of thing. Can you? Oh no, you can't do a premiere where you guys can talk at the side, can you? I don't think you can.
Yeah.
I don't think you
No.
can.
Oh, no, you can't. No, you can't.
I don't think
No,
you
you
can.
can't.
That
No.
would be fun, you know, if you could
That
do
would
it.
be good.
That would be fun, but it's a shame. Okay.
You could do it really if you
I
was
think,
to,
yeah.
if you was to run it.
Set up a live and play the video where you are, Rich.
Yeah, on a screen maybe.
It'd be fun to see folks' reaction to their own vid. I
Yeah.
don't know. You know, I reckon Clive would be funny.
Yeah, it is. It's 8 p.m. Sneaks. 8 p.m. Thursday. Right, so Huey will be home by 8. Thanks, Dale. Put me on the spot.
Anytime, mate.
Right then, guys. Well, thanks for coming. It may have bored most of you. It's not the normal thing that I do, but
It's good.
it's just
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Different.
mixing it
It's
up a
good.
little bit. Mix it
Yeah.
up.
Good.
Next week, I'm not sure what I'm doing next week. I'll figure something out. Might be some turning. I don't know. Oh, actually, I've got some lovely sawdust that I saved. So I'm going to put that in some of the resin that Dale gave me. Dale gave me 5 liters of resin. So I'm going to make a bowl with some sawdust and some resin. Then we'll turn that Tuesday next week. That's what we'll
Good
do.
luck, as Polly. It's cold in your workshop. Good luck.
Oh, crap, yeah, isn't it?
You know.
All right. Well, we'll figure something out.
Awesome.
Anyway, guys, thanks for coming in, and thanks to
Thanks, everyone.
you guys.
Anytime, mate.
Yeah, you guys for coming in and
Anytime.
and entertaining the chat. Right then.
Yeah.
Oh. Right. See you next
Okay.
week. Well, actually, I'll see you all. I'll see you all. Let's just poke Nathan in the ear before we go. Right. Actually, yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow in Wayne's live first. All right. See you. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.
See you
Take
guys.
care, everyone.
Hang on a sec, Wayne, before you go. Oh, end.